Kevin Kovac over on dirtondirt.com has put together a list of who we should expect to see on the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series for 2025. Let's just kind of go through this list and see who is on here and what we can expect for this year as they kick off their first race of the year tonight over at Golden Isles Speedway. So we've got Garrett Albertson. He has been on the tour for 4 years. He won his first race last year and had his career best 6th in points. Max Blair will also be returning to the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. This will be his 3rd year on tour. He matched a career best 9th in points last year in 2024, and he was Rookie of the Year in 2023. Jonathan Davenport, Superman, needs no introduction. 10th year on the tour. He was 3rd in points last year. He was the champion in 2015, 18, 19, and has 77 career wins. Expect him to continue to be a threat, especially at the big tracks like Eldora, Lucas Oil Speedway. He is really, really good at those tracks. Dan Ebert will be joining for the first time and competing for Rookie of the Year coming out of Lakeshore, Minnesota with the Collins Brothers Towing Team. Carson Ferguson returns for his 2nd year. He was 16 points in 2024. I actually think that he is going to turn some heads and do a lot better than what he did last year. They have a notebook now. The team has worked together for a while. I think he is going to be a surprise. Look for him to do much better than 16th this year. Clay Harris is back for a 2nd year as well. He was 13th in points last year. I think he was Rookie of the Year, if memory serves. I'm not seeing that here on this. Maybe he wasn't, but I thought he was. So I think he'll do really well. He had a really, really good speed weeks last year. So if he can have another really good speed weeks and then kind of combine that with the notebook that he's built, look for him to kind of get up there and really get some top 10s. Corey Lawler, this is his 2nd year on the tour. He was 17th in points in 2024. Look for him to continue to improve as well. So that should be good to see him there. He's obviously racing for his family team, Lawler Racing there. Mike Marlar will return. This will be his 3rd year on tour. He had a career best 7th in points in 2024 with 21 career wins. Marlar has struggled with qualifying. I think if he can really kind of get the qualifying down, I think you'll start seeing some good finishes. I know he's also been having some mechanical issues and things like that. So if he gets his program really cleaned up, gets that qualifying down, I think he can be a threat in a number of these races because we've seen when his team does kind of put everything together, they're up there competing for the win night in and night out. So if they can get everything clicking, look for them to actually make a run for that Final Four there. I think that is a possibility for Mike Marlar. Tim McCready, he has left the Rocket One team. He has now joined Briggs Transport Racing, although there is still a technical alliance with the Rocket One team. This will be his 10th year on the tour. He was 4th in points last year. Had a really, really good run at the end of the year with Rocket One. Everything started to seem to be clicking after he obviously came over and took over that ride once Hudson O'Neal left. He was the champion in 2021 and 2022. He's got 36 career wins. I think he's still going to be competitive. I think with this technical alliance, I think that McCready will still be competitive in this, especially after kind of getting used to the Rocket chassis and kind of building up that rapport with those guys. I think he'll still be competitive. I think a lot of people are underestimating what he's going to do. He did get a win in Speed Weeks last year when he was still racing with Paler before he jumped over to Rocket. Devin Moran, this is definitely going to be one of your championship favorites. He was 2nd last year in 2024. I think this is second best. Yeah, so this is the 2nd time being 2nd. He's got 14 career wins. This is his 5th year on the tour. I think that people are expecting a lot of good things from him. I expect him to do a lot of good things as well. Definitely will be competing for that championship. Will be a favorite to get into that Final Four. Hudson O'Neal, after joining SSI Motorsports, he will return. This will be his 7th year on the tour. He was 5th in points last year. Got beat out by Tim McCready for that final spot in the kind of waning races there. He was the champion in 2023. That's when they had that kind of one race take all winner thing, which they quickly got rid of that after that year. Thankfully they did that. That was a horrible idea. 26 career wins. We'll see how things go here. I felt like he was hit or miss once he joined SSI. Things looked really good when he first joined, was up there competing for wins, but towards the end of the year, he really kind of struggled. So we'll see what happens with this team. Anthony Burroughs has left it. He's no longer the crew chief. So I think there's a lot of big questions here with Hudson O'Neal, and maybe that motivates him to really kind of push things forward. We do know that he has built a good relationship with the folks over there at Longhorn and the Rumleys. So I wouldn't discount Hudson O'Neal, but I do think that he's got a lot to prove, especially after kind of the rough end of 2024 that he had. Brandon Overton makes the hop over to the Longhorn factory team. He is actually teaming with Anthony Burroughs as his crew chief. I think there are a lot of high expectations on this team to perform extraordinarily well, given the fact that it is a Longhorn factory team, and they have brought in Burroughs, who many think is the best crew chief out there. Maybe second to Bob Pierce, given Bobby Pierce's dominance over the last couple of years. So we'll see. I definitely think that at this point they are a favorite to make the Final Four. Just some series history here. Second year on the tour. He did not run in 2024. He did win Hunt the Front. He finished 6th in points in 23, and he has 16 career victories. So looking forward to seeing what Overton will bring. I mean, this is a stacked Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series field here. I mean, there's so many good cars. Jimmy Owens, he looks like he will also return. This will be his 16th year on the tour, 10th in 2024. He was the champion in 2011, 12, 13, and 20. He's got 81 career wins. I think he'll get a couple wins this year. We'll see how he does. He was close at a couple tracks where I thought like he was in the hunt, but maybe there was like a mechanical issue or something like that, kind of took him out when he had a lot of speed. So we'll see how he does. I think maybe for me, best case is that he kind of is around where he was last year in 10th. That's kind of where I'm looking at. Kovac thinks that he would be in the hunt for the playoff. I think that is a little bit optimistic for what we've seen from Jimmy Owens over the course of last year. Ross Robinson, he is returning as well. This will be his 4th year on the tour, 12th in points last year. He had a career best 10th in points 2022. I think that's probably where we'll see him go. I mean, he might even fade a little bit down, given the fact that we have all of these rookies that now have notebooks and look like they're going to perform probably even better than what they did last year. So Robinson is going to really have to kind of improve if he wants to kind of make a big splash here with the Lucas Oil. Brandon Sheppard, I think, is definitely another person who there's high expectations on. Came back to Rocket, immediately won in the Dome. However, he also showed some speed out at Wild West Shootout. But however, in that final race, when everything was kind of on the line, he was getting lapped. And I think he was like just right around the top 10, maybe a little bit on the outside. I don't have the results in front of me right now. So I think there's still some big questions on how he will perform and what Rocket will do. I think, though, that they could perform really well. Again, we saw some really good speed from them early on at Vado, but when the big money was on the line, they just didn't seem to have it. So I know Sheppard is someone who obviously is extraordinarily competitive. You watch his interviews, so I expect him to really give it everything he got. And he, I think, is at this point someone who is going to be looking to challenge for that playoff spot, and would be disappointed if he's not in that at the end of this year. Brendan Smith, he will return. This will be his 2nd year. He was 15th in points last year. We'll see how he does. I think he'll probably still has a lot to improve upon and a lot to work on that program. Probably see him kind of where he was last year in that kind of around that 15th position. We'll see how he does. Ricky Thornton Jr., your defending champion. This is his 5th year on the tour. He was Rookie of the Year in 21. He has 35 total career victories. I think you have to think of him as a favorite, right? He's up there with the Overtons, with the Devin Morans, with the Brandon Sheppards, with the Jonathan Davenports. He is someone you expect to be challenging for the championship and even defending the championship. I think he probably is still your favorite. He is starting the whole season with Kohler Motorsports. I think they're really going to be clicking. They seem to really find something, especially towards the end of the year when everyone was kind of counting him out. He put it together and won that championship. So I expect big things here from Ricky Thornton Jr. and that Kohler Motorsports team. I do think there's something to prove. I think Ricky Thornton Jr. still has something to prove there by coming back and winning back-to-back. I think there's something to prove that will motivate him as well. Drake Troutman, he also returns for his second year. Actually, he was the Rookie of the Year. Okay, there we go. Okay, I totally messed that up. Anyways, he was 11th in points last year, and he was your Rookie of the Year. I think that he might actually get a win this year. He's going to be in that GR Smith's team, which we saw the speed that they had, especially out there at Charlotte in the Dirt Track World Championships with Chris Madden. And I think Troutman is definitely one of the big up-and-comers here. Look for him to make a big splash. I would not be surprised if he's in the hunt for that Final Four, if he's able to stay in that GR Smith car. I know there's lots of chatter about, he can't keep drivers in the car. He did last year, right? Mad Max McLaughlin stayed in the car all year round. And competed in the World of Outlaws. So I expect Troutman to stay on as well. But who knows? Maybe I'll be proven wrong. But I think he could challenge for that top four. I think that with the team they have, the speed that they've shown, and Troutman behind the wheel, I think that they could be a threat. I think they're a dark horse. I definitely would not discount him as a threat for that Final Four. Again, he finished 11th last year. I mean, that's just 7 more points, and those points that were pretty close when you're looking at like 10th, 9th, 8th. They weren't too far off from each other. Dalton Wilson is the last one they've got on the list here. He returns for his 4th year on the tour. He was 8th in points last year. He had a career best 7th in points in 23, and he got his first win at East Bay. His last driver to win at East Bay in a national tour, right? I think he won the last race, if memory serves. So I think he's going to improve too. I mean, this is a stacked field. So many people could really, really do well with this. I mean, Dalton Wilson, I think, has shown that he can keep grinding away. I feel like he had a really good closeout of last year. He was kind of hugging the bottom. He would find ways to just kind of be there at the end, riding around on the bottom a lot of times and saving his equipment, and he would just kind of slowly move up and get top 5, top 10 finishes race after race. So expect him to maintain that consistency, and he could be a threat for that top 4. And I mean, I've talked about a lot of people here with that top 4 because I do actually think that a lot of these guys can threaten for that top 4, for that championship 4. So I think we're entering a golden age here of dirt late model racing. Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series obviously has so many great drivers here, and then haven't even gotten to with the World of Outlaws, Bobby Pierce, and all of those guys over there. But let me know what you guys think of this kind of list here that Kevin Kovac put together of who is expected to be with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series for the entire year this year. And what are your expectations? Who are you rooting for to win? Who do you think is going to win? Who do you think is going to be in that Final Four? Who do you think has something to prove? Who do you think is going to be that dark horse? Let me know what you guys are, or what your expectations, what your predictions are for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series this year. Let me know in the comments below.